What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. It's Real Estate Uncensored. I am your co-host, Matt Johnson. My esteemed colleague, Greg McDaniel, the Junior Grandmaster, is in the co-pilot seat where he so belongs.
So long.
Quick second, we've got Gene Volpe, the Evil Belt Ninja, is here. And more importantly, we have Ed Stulak is here. We're going to talk about Instagram, social media, out and all the places so that you can actually get real business. And he's got some eye-popping numbers of deals he's taken off of Instagram. And so we're going to have some fun today. I know Greg is latch onto it like a leech and suck everything that he possibly can out of this episode. First of all, Greg McDaniel, what's up today?
How come you know me so well? It's so weird.
Know you
it's
well.
like
It's been a while.
It's like we spend a lot of time together. It's so strange.
But yeah, inordinate amount, yes.
Yeah, and I know you want to minimize it and you delete it in your memory after our conversations. You're like, no, didn't have that long of a conversation. But Ed and I were talking. The four of us were talking off air, and Gene, motherfucker, you decided to cut me off.
That's right.
And we were having a great conversation, Ed and I, and you just said, no, don't do it here. You have to do it on air. I'm like, okay.
You know why, Greg? Because I care about our audience and our listeners. I felt like that was a story that was better off told live than keeping it a secret behind the scenes. So folks that are listening, you're welcome.
And we appreciate you, Gene. Your ever baldness. I think that's going to be your new name. Your ever baldness. But Ed, welcome, brother. How are you?
It's amazing. It's amazing. This is cool. You guys definitely off air. I love off air. That should have all been recorded. I gotta say, that was prime real estate right there, man. No, that was good. It was fun. I'm stoked to hear more as to what we're gonna chat about over the next few minutes here that we got together. So I'm stoked.
Well, before Greg jumps in with the story, because we'll start. But before that, Ed, fill people in. So you're big on Instagram, followers there, but just give us like the little 60-second bio. So who you are, where you are, what you do.
My name is Ed Stulak. I'm a real estate agent out in the state of New Jersey, USA, but I'm also a brand strategist and social media guru, I guess some might say, where I teach real estate professionals worldwide about the importance of personal branding and social media. So that's my 10-second intro.
I love it, man. I just went up to my second floor, and I'm so excited. That was my elevator pitch. That's wonderful. I mean, Matt, we need to consider hiring him immediately because of his that pitch. That was phenomenal.
You do need a lot of help, Greg. So
oh God.
So you mentioned before we hit record that you've been on Instagram like from day that happened.
2012, I was outside. I'm a big hockey guy, as Greg now knows. That's the kicking sport, as we discussed off air. And it was 10 years ago. I was playing pond hockey outside with my team, and that's when everyone kind of just started chit-chatting about this thing called Instagram in high school. And I had no idea really what it was, but I said, okay, no problem. Let me join. Let me be a part of this whole society click thing. So all right, I got it, downloaded it, posted my first picture of this hockey little ski cap, and I got 2 likes, right? And I'm thinking,
nice,
exactly, Greg. I'm thinking,
nice.
2 likes. For some reason, and keep this in mind, I am not an entrepreneur. I was not a businessman. My family is not really into that stuff. Something in the back of my mind clicked and said, what if those 2 likes actually bought that hat? And now I'm thinking that was free advertising. 2 likes, potentially $30 profit. This is, how do I grow this, right? I'm thinking, how can I grow this following now so I can post a picture for free, which takes me 10 minutes out of my day to come up with a cool caption and hashtags and edit. And I'll post it to my following and potentially sell something. But what that something was, I didn't know until 7 years ago when I kind of dove into real estate. So this is where I'm at right now, utilizing that following, which is about 50,000 on Instagram, just under 20,000 on TikTok, slowly growing. So I'm definitely having fun on social, but the point is, come up with a following, post for free, get sponsors, as we were also talking about off air, and just promote the hell out of that stuff for free. It's very costly.
Walk me through this really quickly. And Gene, I know you're going to want to dive in here on this one. I love the mindset, Ed, of because you say you're not an entrepreneur, but I'm sorry, dude, you are. And you said I have 2 likes. That's a $30 revenue potential return. How can I build this? That is a unique way of looking at it. Most people are just social whores. And I mean that in the nicest possible way because we want to see how many likes and comments and everything else. But you're looking at it going like, nah, 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 nah. Don't give a flying fuck about that. What I'm caring about is the ability to build a business off of this by relationships that people are having with me and the products I can bring to them. Walk us through your next steps after you got your first 2 likes with your hockey beanie. Where did that go? How did you build that out? I mean, what does that look like? How did you bring that into real estate? I mean, there's 1,000 questions here, and I'm gonna probably drown you in them. And Matt's gonna edit me, and then Gene's gonna criticize me, and it's gonna be fantastic because Ed, you and I are gonna still be BFFs, and these guys can do whatever they want. It's okay.
I love it. The next step after that, well, then I got 3 likes, and then 4, and then 10, and then 20. And it slowly kind of graduated that way. So the next step was me trying to figure out what it is that I'm going to be posting more of. So the people that do start to click that follow button for me can expect what the next type of content or the next post will be. So I don't want to confuse them. If I'm going to post hockey stuff, let me stick to hockey. If I'm going to post business or real estate or plumbing and music and God knows what else I could, like, what am I going to stick to that I actually enjoy posting about and talking about and don't mind sitting down for the 10 minutes and posting on social. This is where people, I guess, again, neglect social media for it because they think, let me just throw everything at the board and see what sticks. Why not just throw stuff that you actually enjoy throwing? And if it sticks or it doesn't, you have a great time doing it. Fuck it.
That's good.
Yeah.
So I
What was
I
it?
want to dig into that a little bit. So let's talk about your verticals. So if I were to go to Ed Stulak's Instagram, what can I expect? What are the personalities that pop into the Instagram thing? So from my perspective, like we always teach our folks, if you have 0 followers, that's a really good time to throw a bunch of stuff at the wall and see what sticks because your audience is going to tell you what they like, right? And then you can find your verticals and stay in your lane. For you, what am I looking at now if I was to log on to, and by the way, don't be ashamed to give out your Instagram handle on this. Let people follow you, give them that. And then what am I going to see when I log into Instagram and see your account?
So when you go onto my Instagram, which is Ed Stulak, EDSTULAK, you can type that in anywhere, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, MySpace, wherever. You will find me.
Did
So
you
you
just
type
say
that-
MySpace?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Greg showed his age.
It's an attention grabber. So you go onto my Instagram. What are you seeing? Real estate. This dapper guy that's doing real estate kind of has some humorous flair to it, but also teaches you a thing or two. So you're getting education, you're getting a laugh, you're getting inspiration, and that's really you're seeing. You're seeing hockey, real estate. I like watches, whiskey, love whiskey, and then just hockey. Like those are the things that you're gonna constantly see. It's just those things. Social media tips and tricks, Instagram, real estate, hockey, whiskey, this, that. Like that's all you're seeing on my account. And those that like it, stick to it. If they don't, they unfollow me.
Well, they can go fuck off and die. It doesn't matter. I mean, but I mean, dude, I love it because I mean, you know exactly your brand, and so many people don't know that. You're like, I like watches, whiskey, hockey, and now podcasting. So congratulations.
Thank you.
But that is really good content. I mean, okay, so let me do a pop quiz hot shot. Top favorite whiskeys, top favorite watches, both in threes.
Love it. Glen Morangi 10-year-old, Glen Morangi 21-year-old, and Balvenie 21-year-old. My top 3 in the whiskey collection, single malt, Highlands. I know that.
Talk to me about the price tags on those. Go ahead.
Price tags, you're talking 120, 140, and the Balvenie 21 was like about 250, something like that from the last time I got.
That's not bad. That's not terrible. And just for the record, I got 2 giant bottles of George Dickel 12-year-old coming to the house today, as a matter of fact.
Did you say George Dickel?
It's
uncensored, isn't it?
Yeah. It's not the kind of juice that you like, Greg. It's bourbon.
Shut up. Just because I live in San Francisco, shut up.
Oh my God.
But you know, here's the thing I love about this, Ed, is that I popped off on you really quickly, and this is all seriousness. And I said, "Hey, give me the top 3 of these 2 different categories." You named not only the types, but you also named the prices on point, and that's the sign of a professional. And I love that fact about what you just did. That was, dude, you didn't hesitate.
Thank
So,
you.
how are you helping and coaching and training? Fuck, we gotta get to the watches, top
Watches.
watches.
You're right. Watches, Panerai, Breitling, and I love my Panerais. I just got a Panerai the other day. Love that thing. So I got Breitling, Panerai, and let's just Tag Heuer, Tag Heuer, how they say it, pronounce it.
Okay,
Those
give
are
me
the
prices. Give me
prices.
prices.
The one that I just got, 4,000 used, which is usually 10,000 US
I'm
dollars.
sorry, I just
That's a lot. That's a lot. I know. But listen, this is all influenced by my father. By the way, he got me into whiskey. He got me into watches. So I blame him full blame.
Well,
Yeah. He's a contractor.
really?
He's a hardworking European, very typical European kind of profession. He comes from Europe,
Okay.
overseas, right off the boat, barely speaks English, and
Okay.
contractor. I
Not doing
build
it with his
stuff.
hands. Yeah,
That's all
that's
he
yeah.
does.
My dad was a contractor too, among other
Was he
things.
really?
Yeah, he's done. My dad has done everything: remodeling, commercial painting, plumbing, cabinet making. Yes,
What?
I've done all of those things. Yeah, because it was in between gigs as a pastor, he was doing other things. So yeah,
And
I'll tell you
listen,
that.
Didn't know
Anyway,
that.
so yeah, so that's who my dad. My dad was not into Panerai watches. I wish that would have been my wish that would have been his interest. But anyway, that's awesome that your dad got you into those things. It's very, very cool. All right, so
Very cool.
Panerai's like 8 to 10K. I remember hanging out,
Let's-
Greg. So back in the day when we remember when I was like hanging out with him in the Bay Area, I was
Yeah.
hanging around with him when creating this a brand new Panerai and got them talked down to 8K. An accomplishment. I'm like,
Seriously?
that is it's a nice watch. Nice watch.
Damn.
Breitling, Tag Heuer. What are we
You
talking
got
about?
Breitling, let's say 2,000-3,000. And listen, you can buy these price points; they're all over the place. But the
Yeah.
one specific ones that I guess are the true quality and the nice ones, I guess the Maseratis and the Mercedes AMGs of this world. Tag Heuer, I would say like 6,000, 6,400. The last one that I saw, so that was a gorgeous one.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is
Yeah,
kind of
you
the
know,
price point that I
for
enjoy.
Greg,
But
that's
again,
like, it's like 20% of one commission check. That's not bad.
It's like 4%. I mean, it's
Yeah.
okay.
It's
I
like,
mean,
oh, Greg's having to throw that in just to make deals happen.
yeah. I'll give you a Lamborghini and a watch. Let's just get the
right.
deal done.
All right, Ed,
Yeah.
so let's dig into this because
Yes.
I'm looking at your Instagram feed, and you're right. It looks very cohesive, right? The way that you present yourself, very similar in every post is different, but there's consistency there within the variety, and that's where I think a lot of people lose it with social media and just with content in general. They're so busy throwing things against the wall, trying to figure out what gets attention, that when somebody goes because one thing did catch their attention, and they look back at the other stuff they've done, they're like, well, that's never going to happen again because there's nothing to their feed that implies that they had any idea what they were putting out to begin with, and they have no idea what to expect next time around. So, other than just you being like you're authentic, like, is it just a matter of just being authentic, or is it a matter of kind of narrowing down the things that you talk about so that when people expect?
I will always be authentic. Brand authenticity is a huge component to one's success on social. But at the same time, very same time, I make sure to give what my audience wants. So if I know that my audience wants tips and tricks on social media, I've got to make sure that I do that a lot. If they want me to do something funny and post a funny TikTok, I will do so because I know it gets a lot of engagement, which tells me they enjoy that content. And then I'll post about real estate and then this and then that. I'm just constantly giving. But then there's that 20%, there's that little bit of 20% rule that I always make sure to throw in a bit of a ask, right? The
Yeah.
Gary Vee says this, give, and ask. So I do ask for something in return. Sometimes I'll say, listen, I do coach, I do real estate. I do coach real estate agents and professionals worldwide on social media, Instagram. Here's my course. Boom. Go check it out. Or, hey, go follow me on TikTok. Or, hey, I'm selling real estate. Don't forget, if you're looking to buy or sell, let's chat, kind of thing. But I almost never, ever, ever sell on social media, which ends up getting sales. And this is where
Yeah.
even Gary Vee said once before, 90% of people sell, 10% of people brand. those 10% of people who brand end up selling 90% more than those who sell.
That's really good.
That's a quote that I live by.
Yeah, no, I love that. I think it's really good. I'm taking notes here. I think one of the most important things you just said right there is that, you don't know what your viewers want, but once you ask them what they want, or you do something a little bit outside of the box, and you get the views, and you understand that they want to see blank content, and then they resonate with that. I took a photo a year and a half, 2 years ago. I tell the story all the time of this very heavy set individual who was obviously on massive drugs because he was in the middle of the street scratching his ass next to a bus stop. And I took a photo of it and I posted it and I said, "What in the heck is he scratching?" And I had for me, at this point, it was like 1,200 likes and views, most of it I've forgotten. And I was just like, holy mackerel. So I learned very quickly that my audience likes weird shit. They do. They really
No
do. The
surprise
weirder it
there.
is, the better
Imagine
it is.
that. The people who shit.
Yeah, right.
All right. Tone it down, Johnson.
Blow me over with a feather. I am shocked. Okay. But it is really, it's interesting because yes, you have to balance out the stuff that grabs attention versus the stuff that actually is consistent with your brand and sell
Right.
for you, right? That there is that temptation there to go for what grabs eyeballs, and you're constantly kind of, like you said, with the Gary Vee approach, you're trying to balance the giving them what grabs attention and then asking for something in return, all while trying to stay within that brand that you are creating. I think that's what leads a lot of people off brand, Ed, is try like going so much for what drives attention that they forget all about the whole branding thing. So how do you help people stay in their lane, stay within their brand, but then still experiment with can grab attention without getting kind of too far outside, or just basically posting stuff just for the sake of the attention, and it never leads to building any credibility that might get them sales?
It comes down to the basic fundamental elements of understanding who you are and understanding what you enjoy, what you don't enjoy. If a real estate professional, it could be a lender, it could be a lawyer, it could be an agent, which I mostly work with agents. So if they tell me that they are a family oriented person, they love vacationing, they love their two young little daughters, and this is just what they surround themselves around all the time, do that. That's the brand that you have. That's the brand that you have now. Represent it and own the hell out of it, because that's just what naturally comes to you. Don't try to be something else because, oh, I see that person excelling with that type of brand. They're constantly posting watches and cars and luxury houses. I need to be that. No, you do not. You be your own thing. You be the single father of two kids that just loves his family and vacations with them, takes them to the Bahamas every year. I don't know. That's your thing. Like, don't change that. Own it.
Let me ask you a question, Ed, real quick.
Yes.
I see a lot of folks. These are good friends of mine, and they post consistently the exact same thing. Would you say do the exact same thing like you just said, like be you, right? But could you be you by posting, let's say, I have a friend of mine, she loves to work out, like loves it. I don't know why, but she loves it. And all she does is like her sweating, her running, her workouts, her, accomplishments, her prizes, everything else. But there's nothing new. There's nothing to bring me to her page more if I'm not in that realm. Is there a way to stay relevant by posting consistently inconsistent content, but staying true to you and who you are? Or am I completely off on that?
No, you can still that stuff right there that you just kind of explained and described her. You drew us a picture. She was a fitness freak. It sounds like, because that's all she's posting. So she loves that stuff. That's what I know her for. Is there a
Right.
reason to go ahead and now follow her? Well, I mean, there's two things that I'm seeing that could potentially make me follow her. Number one, I'm a fitness freak myself, or number two, she's just hot, right? Sex
Right.
sells.
Right.
Sex
It,
sells big time.
it does.
It big time does, and those that say it doesn't, go fly a kite. It does. So it's sex, education, entertainment, animals, babies. These things are like the top performing things.
Yeah.
right? And this is what sells online. I see a hot girl, I'm sorry, I'm watching. I'm a guy. Sue me. If I see someone talking luxury, I'm sorry, I'm intrigued. That's just what catches my attention. So there has to be some sort of component that reels you in. Even the average Joe Schmo, a person that is not interested in real estate, a person that is not interested in watches, whiskey, hockey, social media, will still follow me for some sort of reason. I have a follower, for example, she has nothing to do with real estate, nothing to do with watches, nothing to do with anything that I'm about. Yet she follows me, and her and I are just bestest of Instagram friends ever. She's been following me since day one. Her name is Andy. She's down in Florida. Big shout out to her. She sends me gifts when I'm sick. She sends me love letters. She sent me a blanket when I had COVID. I mean, from social media. She, again, never got
That's
business
awesome.
from her, never did anything. But why is she following me? Why am I following her? I think it's just genuine, true connection. There's that type of authenticity that I sold her on, and she sold me on. And now we're true.
That's
We're
awesome.
cool. We're good friends on social. This is just how one can still learn about you, even though they're not going to do business with you or they're not interested in your content particularly. But there's that person-to-person connection that will never die. So
I agree with you 1,000%. I have a friend of mine. She's up north, and when I was having a bad day, dude, she sent me one of those edible baskets of fruits, and she said, "Hope you feel better." And then another day when shit was going south on different on a transaction that she and I talked about, dude, she sent me cigars, and she went out and made these are Cohiba, like legit cigars, and a whole set of real estate uncensored coasters. And she's like, hope this makes your day better. I'm like, we have never met in person. So what you're saying, Ed, is, I mean, even Gene could get hair plugs from someone online, to because he influences so many people. Is that what you're saying?
he absolutely could. There could be a company out there that says, Gene, man, you just have the head that we need.
So many jokes on that. So many jokes.
There is a company that said it. It was actually the Skull Shaver. I was in a Skull Shaver commercial, and Greg, some of us really have enough confidence. I don't give a shit. I don't need hair plugs, so I don't care. It is what it is, bro. You don't like it, you can look away.
You are a handsome bald man. Just to be clear on this, I just like to
appreciate
pick on you
that.
because you've been super quiet. That's all.
Thank you. By the way, can we get all right? Here, let me step it up a notch. Can we get back to the lady from up north that sent you a basket of edibles? Is that what you said?
We were talking about edible fruit, not edibles
Oh.
like weed.
Gotcha. Okay, never mind. Forget it.
That's
I heard edible at first. I thought Gene, but then you said edible fruit basket. I'm like, gotcha. Good.
All right, Ed. So when you start working with somebody or they take your course and you get a lot of questions about that, what are the first obstacles, sticking points that you see a lot of agents running into with Instagram?
The first few are really just the mindset on Instagram, the one that one should attain. As you said before, Greg, which is applause. Everyone wants to be a social whore. Everyone is going on social to get the most likes, get the most followers, because I just want that 10K mark and more. I mean, what's the reason for having that if you don't have the proper mindset? What are you going to do once you have that following, is my question. How are you going to retain that following once you have that, is my question. How are you going to build relationships and build business from that following once you have that, right? And you've built that up for yourself. How are you going to do it, is my question to them. This is something that a lot of agents and a lot of industries, I mean, I have students that are lawyers, attorneys, accountants. I mean, these people also need help. I have a doctor that just signed up for my course, which has nothing to do with the medical field, but he understands social media is an important realm for him to even participate in. So he got onto the course as well. A lot of industries need help. They do. Social is not to be messed with. It's to really utilize and take advantage of. But at the end of the day, what are the common obstacles? Really comes down to the proper mindset. Number one. Number two, what do I post? Do I do business? Do I do my personal life? That's a very common question I always get too. Do I have a personal account and a business account? Which my very short answer is, do you want to split your life in 50-50 or 100% on one? So stick to one, stick to your personal brand and put business in there, put personal in there. Don't do it too much business, because then you're going to be looked at as a sleazy salesman, as Jordan Belfort says in Wolf of Wall Street. You don't want to be that person, but you do also want to make sure that you're throwing your personal brand out there with a little bit of a curve to make people remember, okay, I know exactly what this entity, this individual does, so I will remember. When that time comes for me to request that service or whatever it may be, I need it from them. So those are kind of like the most common questions I'm getting. Do I do more personal? Do I do more business? How do I grow a social media following? How do I get more followers and more engagement? Things of that sort.
You know, Matt and I, when we started this podcast 6 years ago, almost 7 years ago, somewhere in that ballpark, Matt and I looked at each other, and I say again, I tell the story all the time. We're like, you know what? Do you think anyone's even going to listen to us? And we both said, don't give a fuck. Let's go. We like messing with each other. And so we jumped in. And I think, Ed, what you're talking about when it comes to mindset is so powerful. A lot of people get caught up in the idea that, like, I have to be liked by everybody. But if you just go out there and just start being you and creating your own content, whatever that's going to look like, obviously there needs to be a pattern. They need to get a hold of you to understand kind of what would work and what won't work. I get that. But just start. I mean, when I was doing door knocking a lot, my joke was that knocked on was my car door. As soon as I opened that, then I could open up anything else. So it's the same thing for posting on social media and Instagram and Facebook and so on and so forth. Just start doing something. You'll find your legs. You'll understand where your path is going to lead you, but you just can't stop. I mean, if you stop, you die. I mean, walk me through that a little bit. I mean, am I on the right path, kind of where your mindset is, or am I completely off the reservation?
No, you're right. You're right. Say overanalysis causes paralysis. Do not paralyze yourself when it comes to social media. This thing right here, which all of us have, I'm sure you gentlemen have it, and I'm sure everyone listening and watching has one too. It's a phone. If you're not watching, you have a phone. It's some have two. This thing is so powerful. It has so much capability of creating high quality content and tons of content, unlimited amounts of content. There's no reason to not use that. Don't overthink and think, oh, I have to get a professional camera and I have to get a professional microphone like YouTube gens have. Like, I need one myself. I want a microphone and I want a camera. Is that going to stop me from creating content? No, because everything that you saw on social media when you did stalk me for a hot second in the intro of this episode, you saw that all my content, I would say 98% of that was done through this phone.
Really?
All done through the phone.
That's awesome.
I don't really use the camera because I don't know how to use it, number one. And number two, I don't really want to hire someone right now to do that full time for me because I have so much success using this thing. So don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Dude, I have what you can't see. I have a bag behind me right here.
Okay.
It's full of all of my camera gear, my rigs, my mics, my lights, everything. Guess what I use more than anything else? iPhone. Unbelievable. And people were afraid of it because
sorry,
because it's
Greg, I was just going to
convenient.
say, like, speaking years ago, Greg, you and I spoke to a group of agents, I should say, in Michigan. Was it Detroit? Where you
was it
stood
South
up and you
Carolina or
showed
Michigan?
people. No, it was,
Oh, yeah,
I think
yeah,
it was
yeah.
I think it was in Detroit because you stood up and you basically just took out your iPhone and you showed people from the state how to do a Facebook audio message. Now that was 4 years ago, and that feature had been around for like a year and a half up at that point, and the whole audience was just above. Like, oh my God, you can send voice messages with your phone. Like, yes, the phone you already have in your pocket right now can do that. And
I forgot
still,
about
a lot
that.
of people don't know
I'm
that
so
that's a
happy
possibility.
that you brought that up because I do have to show you what it is that I also do that makes me, I guess, stand out, let's say. So this is what I do. Ready? That feature right there, the audio feature, I take that and kind of put steroid into it. And instead of sending an audio message out to someone, I send a video message.
Right.
Right. So, which a lot of people are afraid to do. But the steroid here I'm talking about and how I continue to grow my following and build this personal relationship with my followers. Because listen, they don't have to follow me. Gene, I just saw that you followed me. I'm grateful for your follow, and I will follow you right back.
My man.
This is where I see that someone followed me, someone went out of their day to go ahead, check me out, learn a little bit more about me, and then potentially follow me. Here's what I do. Ready? I had some guy, Mike 40, I'm not sure this man. He followed me before. So don't know who he is, but he's a Rhode Island real estate agent, commercial, residential, NY, Massachusetts, Rhode Island. All right, cool. Don't know this man, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to know this man. I'm going to go into the messages, which, by the way, you've seen I've never messaged him before. We never had a conversation before. But what did I just learn? He's a real estate agent. He's quite dapper in his photos, and he's out in Rhode Island. So what I do is I reach out, take my phone, and say, "What's up, man? Pleasure to connect with you. And I just wanted to reach out personally to say thank you for the love and the follow. I appreciate the love and support so much. If there's anything that I can ever help you out with, branding, real estate, social media, reach out, man. I'm a DM away. All right? Pleasure to connect." And I'll send that video just like that. And I sent it.
Oh,
Now,
by the way, check your inbox. I believe you may have just gotten an additional video, my friend.
oh, hello. Yes, I did.
Don't open it while you're on air.
Yeah, I was
And
going
when
to
you're
say,
around
don't,
kids.
don't open Greg's videos. Yeah. Should you open that on your own time?
So let's go back to
I love
Greg's
it.
like real quick. I want to make a point about Greg's voice. So Ed, just for your knowledge,
that
we
is
have
sexy.
well, of course, everybody can hear that. But
Well,
what they don't
yes.
see is that when we communicate, and I know how much Matt loves this, but when we all communicate in our Facebook private groups, he sends voice messages. And I literally, if I'm around my kids, I can't play any of them. Like when you can read them, when you read them, I can
Greg
look at them. And
sends- While I'm on recordings with him, that he expects me to do while we're on something like this. Like Greg sends voice messages at an inappropriate level. Yes.
That is true
But
friendship. I
here's
don't know what
here's
you're
what
talking
I love
about.
about that, Ed. This is what I love about that, Ed, because you're connecting the dots, because this is where people that get into social media, this is what they want to happen. I put out content, people reach out to me. Does not happen. Like it's you put out content and people will do exactly what you just demonstrated. They will follow you. They will take a tiny step forward. They'll follow you. They'll like something. Something like they'll take some little baby step. They're not going to message you just straight out of the blue and go, "Hey, I love your content. Can you come over and list my $500,000 property?"
Right.
That will happen 1 out of 1,000 times, right? And I think
Right.
where you're connecting the dots for agents is they're missing the fact that you're proactively reaching out to everybody, building that connection, and you're at least giving the person a chance that if they're interested, they can respond and start a conversation with you that could lead somewhere. But it's not going to just go from content to call to appointment. Like
That's
it's going
right.
to go from content to conversation, chat, that will go to call or something, then to an appointment, right?
That's it. What do we do? As real estate professionals, we farm, right? Or
Yeah.
at least we should be farming, I think.
Yeah.
Some do it with postcards. I tried it out 5 years ago when I entered my little mom and pop shop. They taught me the fundamental elements of real estate. They taught me door knocking, cold calling, and farming. And they told me do postcards because that stuff works. I tried it out, not my thing. Instead, I farm on social media. That right
Yes.
there was a typical way of me farming. With some agent out in Rhode Island, I sent him a DM. Now it made me approachable and made me personable because I said, "Hey man, I see you're in Rhode Island." I don't know what I said. I see you're in Rhode Island. Like I try to make it personable so he doesn't think it's an automatic DM. The last thing I want for him to think is my brand is fake, is just automatic. I can't reach out to this guy. No, I just reached out, said, "Hey man, personally wanted to reach out, say thank you. Let's connect if you have any questions." Most of the time they respond. They say, "Dude, thank you. That was sick. Never seen that before. I would send you a video back if I wasn't in my PJs right now or something." Like we have that conversation,
Yeah.
which then opens doors, let the floodgate go, and let's chat. Let's talk. What are we going to talk about?
we have to follow this before he gets off here. I would love to see if that dude did respond to you, because that would be just the perfect
Yes.
ending to this show, right?
That would be a
Yes.
happy ending. That would be a happy ending to the show.
We do have to wrap it up. Everybody's got a heart out. Okay, so Ed Stulak, EEDSTULAK on Instagram. Ed, what about your course? How do people get connected with you and like learn more about that?
So IGREcoaching.com. IGREcoaching.com. Instagram. IGRE stands for in the gram for real estate. So IGRE, learning about that stuff. It's a master class. It's $397. It's a one-time fee. You get on there. You learn everything about social media that I've ever learned when it comes to Instagram. All my tips and tricks, the hacks, all that fun jazz. So I've had some pretty big students of mine. One of my guys just picked up a $1+ million listing in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So that was pretty cool.
Sweet.
simple things like the one thing I just showed you right now, that right there, I call that the follow farming strategy. And that right there is so powerful for my students. So there's a freebie of how to get some leads on social media.
And
What
then
what
we
what what
teased.
what do you think about nipple rings? Do you think
For
Matt and
God's
Gene
sake.
should get nipple
Oh,
rings and shoot videos topless? Do you think
No,
that would get more followers?
well, sex sells, right? We've discussed this.
I don't. I don't.
So,
I think that's a different thing. And you meant we teased that you had some eye popping numbers of success that you've had on Instagram, but I don't think we ever got to that. You gave them before we hit record. Just reel off some of the success you've had just in the last couple of months with leads off of Instagram.
cool. So over the past year, I'll tell you the success. I did receive a 180 unit listing, which was this huge apartment complex, all rentals. And so now half of that building is sold out. That's 88 units in 1 year. That's pretty cool, I think,
That's
from Instagram.
huge.
I received a $2.8 million listing the other day. It was a 12,000 square foot home here in New Jersey, right on the shore. Gorgeous home. I received a $870,000 listing. I got buyers that I just closed with for 1 million together, helped them buy and sell. So this all came from Instagram. These were just typical numbers from my Instagram performance. Do I work on the other things? Do I have RedX? Do I have Realtor.com? Yeah, of course. But do they work as well as social media does for me? Social media is my thing. Does it
Dude,
work? Yeah, it can work 100%.
dude, that's amazing. I mean, I'm literally just sitting here going like, you know what? Social media is the digital door knocking of today's day and age. I mean, I've done over 300,000 door knocks, over $600,000 cold calls in my career of 22 years. And if there was a way I could go back to was it 2000, 2001. It's right when the towers fell. That's when I first really got in the business. And I could understand the power of social media and kind of the leverage it has. I would never have to door knock again in my life. So I think what you're doing, Ed, is phenomenal, and I applaud you. And I cannot wait to get into a deeper relationship with you and kind of learn more about you and how I can bring value to your life and how we can work together. But I think what you're doing, dude, I am so thankful you're here today. I mean, it was such a good show, such a good show.
Thank you. This was a blast. I have to say, it's not every day that I do a fun podcast. So thank you, gentlemen, for giving me the love and the support and the exposure to your audience. And I hope to bring the value that you've brought to me as well. So thank you.
Appreciate it. All
You
right,
know what?
Greg, should we
I
wrap it up
shipped
quickly?
Matt some bourbon, and he drank it in his coffee this morning. That's why he's a little lively.
Nice.
So this is kind of the joy of life. Matt's like, that will never happen in a
All right,
billion
gentlemen.
years.
All right, we got to wrap things up. Okay, here. Action real quick. So if anybody wants to make passive leveraged income options, not have to roll into an office, not have an annoying broker that breathes down your neck, all that fun stuff, talk to Greg, 925-915-1978. But also just if you're looking for a coach, motivation, inspiration, all that fun stuff. Greg is willing to do calls at all hours of the day and or night.
I
Spent
will.
18 months doing a call 4 nights a week for like 90 minutes for people for free. So if you
I
want him to
did.
do that for you, reach out to him. And then got to give a quick plug to Gene, which if you want to take, especially video content, sliced and diced, Benihana style, and then put out on social media platforms. And for that, he's got a whole agency team that specializes in getting you more exposure on social media. And then, Greg, you
Well,
wanna give
Matt,
my call to action real quick?
let me explain how they get a hold of you guys. If you guys are not watching this, there's a little red book behind him. It's called Get Micro Famous. Go to getmicrofamous.com. You guys will. It is a. I am dyslexic and I'm ADHD, which if you haven't watched the show, you fucking know that by now. But I will tell you this: this book that Matt wrote, and everything else and produced and put out there. It is a phenomenal book. Get a hold of him at getmicrofamous.com. Also, go ahead to mattjohnson.com and you can get a free car wash. And it is fantastic. It is he does it with rocks, so you might have a few scratches on your vehicle, but he will be there to help you out. But in all seriousness, go to getmicrofamous.com, get the book, get the PDF, get whatever you want to do. He will send it to you. You have to pay for shipping, but it will be well worth your time. Trust me on this one, guys. And he's really fun to talk to. He
Man,
loves to
podcast
talk
brother.
late at night.
Yes. Okay. All right, Greg. Show us the color. Wrap it up.
All
Wrap
right,
it up, buddy.
color for the bow. Ed, you are the man of the hour, so we need a color for the bow on the show today.
Blue.
We just become best friends?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Tying a blue bow around the episode. Let's do it.
All right. Matt gets so irritated because I have so much fun. Gene, sorry you got caught out. So did you, Matt. So, guys, we love you to pieces. Thank you so much for being a part of our show. We could not do it without you. So, what we need from you is we need you to go to every single place you watch and listen to this podcast, not give us a 2-star, but give us a 5-star review so the algorithm picks it up. So, here's a blue bow on the show. We love you to pieces. Until next time, peace out, ninjas. We go.